Show.
Ernie Johnson welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm here with Shaq and the Jet. In this game, we'll see the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Hornets out in Charlotte. And for Charlotte, they're looking to come out strong and make their mark early. They have to look at this game as a great opportunity to do just that. The Hawks under coach Mike Budenholzer became such a model of offensive efficiency last season. What about Budenholzer's system, Kenny, works so well?
Well, the funny thing about it, I ran into Budenholzer last night at a restaurant, and we were talking about that. The pick and roll that they use just has 2 or 3 different variations. That's why it's really successful. It's hard to scout and hard to defend that guy. And thanks for dinner, Coach.
Yeah, what did he have? What did you have and what did he have?
Well, after he said he was paying for dinner, I put a couple extra things on my plate.
And what were those?
A couple of desserts.
And
I don't believe this guy. Anyway, Mike Budenholzer, the son of Greg Popovich, he's a great coach. Not only do they have plays, they have counter plays for everything that a defense might throw, and he's just getting it done. Hopefully they can go a little further this year.
Did you and Coach Bud go to the drive-thru or did you walk inside?
No, we did not go through a drive-thru. And shout out to assistant coach Darvin Ham as well.
Let's send it down to Kevin Harlan
Name
as we
dropper.
get set for tip-off.
Such a name dropper.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of progress.
It's time for some hoops at the Time Warner Cable Arena in downtown Charlotte, North Carolina. It's the home of the Hornets, live on 2K Sports. Great to have you with us, everybody, live on 2K Sports. With Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. Tip-off goes to Charlotte. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. And so in the game for the Hawks, Millsap at power forward with Horford at the center. Teague and Korver are the guards. And it's Bazemore at the 3 slot. Korver kicks to Millsap. Fires the 3. It's rebounded by Charlotte.
And Steve Clifford might not be the most famous coach in the NBA, but he has plenty of experience, and everyone in the league knows exactly how well-versed he is as a coach.
Now here's Teague, following the miss by Kemba Walker. And Teague, here we go. Misses in close. And so it's Charlotte with it. Williams a screen. Here's Walker. And the shot no good, a bit short. Hornets on defense now. Korver dishes to Teague. And now just over a minute played here in the first. That one goes. Count it. Teague's got the first points up on the board here for the Hawks. Outside, Walker. Outside, Williams. For 3. Again, the miss by Walker. The Hawks have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Teague against Walker. Bazemore passes to Horford. Hawks passing it around. 6 to shoot. Millsap sets the pick for Teague. Batum grabs the miss.
Offensively, 1 of 4 to start. They're still trying to find their stroke.
Over to the left wing. And a wide open look for Walker. Second chance shot. Good on the shot.
Boy, the 5th time's the charm. That's a big basket there.
Here's Teague. Now go to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with head coach Steve Clifford.
We talked about the keys to this game, and he singled out Paul Millsap as a player they've simply got to be mindful of. Coach told me he's always been an energy guy, someone you have to locate and box out every possession. But he's developed his offensive game to the point where he's more than just a hustle guy. He's also a scoring threat now, and a guy we can't leave open. They'll be watching him, Kevin.
All right, Doris. Kid Gilchrist, an easy 2 points on the layup. Kid Gilchrist has got his first bucket of the night.
Oh, nice, strong drive there. If that's who's going to be guarding him, then he's got some weight to throw around.
Teague drives in. That is good. Teague's got his second basket of the night. Charlotte trailing. Well, you just watched Jeff Teague. He's a natural scorer. Clark, he's also made steady improvement as a playmaker.
Yeah, you look at his assist rate, Kevin, well in the top 10 in the league. He's cut down on his turnovers as well. You can tell he's starting to really figure it out, and the game is slowing down for him.
Here's Teague following the basket by Nicholas Batum. And there's Horford. That's good on the assist by Teague. Horford's got his second bucket.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
And Walker kicks to Batum. He feeds it to Zeller. To the left side wing. Walker with room to shoot. Again, the Hornets score.
And Teague's also athletic. You know, sometimes you forget that. I mean, this guy's got the tools also to be a terrific defender. And I still think he's developing consistency at that end of the floor. That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
And Batum kicks to Walker. The tray. And it's Walker again missing.
And speaking of Jeff Teague's defense, I mean, his rebounding, I think, could also be a little higher. I mean, with his bounce, he can get in there and grab a few more.
No one covering.
You can't afford to give him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Yeah, and Al Horford really has become one of those elite two-way big men. And that's very rare. You look at most bigs in the NBA, they excel at either one end or the other, but this is one of those guys that does it all.
Jefferson's checked in for Zeller. Lee comes in for Nicholas Batum. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Kemba Walker. And the Hawks making a change here as well. Schroeder's checked in. Here's Lin. And Horford at 6'10", a natural power forward who's been pressed into duty at the center spot, but he holds his own on the low block.
He also does a really good job, Kevin, moving his feet and covering in space, covering the pick and roll. He's outstanding in that regard, which is important in today's game. He's got mobility and a high IQ.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
When you think of Kid Gilchrist, one thing that comes to mind is intangibles. He has a desire, an intensity, and a will to win that elevates him to elite status.
Yeah, you know, he never will be a great shooter, and he's still working on his jump shot. But the intangibles, you talked about it, you add heart and tenacity to that. Every team wants a guy like that.
Kaminsky, he's checked in for Charlotte. Then for the Hawks, Splitter is checked in for Horford. Mike Scott comes in for Paul Millsap. And Thabo Sefolosha subbed in for Kent Bazemore.
And talking about Kid Gilchrist, yes, he's worked to fix his shooting form last season, but the real improvement was made on the boards. He averaged 7.5 rebounds a game in only 29 minutes of play. That is outstanding.
Scott, good.
There's 6 points on consecutive three balls. They're finding holes in this defense.
And no doubt the defense had better play a little tighter.
Now here's Kid Gilchrist. He dishes it to Jefferson. Jump hook. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops.
And for Kid Gilchrist, he was accustomed to so much winning in high school, college, international competition. He's had a rough first 3 years in the NBA, making the playoffs only once in that time. But he's a real warrior, so that has to be killing him inside.
Good pick, but he just couldn't make it count.
Yeah, nice job of setting the screen by his teammate there. I'm sure he appreciated it.
Now here's Kid Gilchrist. Back to Lee from outside the arc. The shot is off.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
For three, the Hornets pull it in. Outside, Kid Gilchrist. Left side, Lynn. And there's the pass to Kingston. Scott pulls it in.
Most of the time, that shot will go down, or the defenders have to make sure they tag him.
And the whistle blows. It'll be on Tiago Splitter. That is his first foul of the game.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Charlotte making a switch here. Lamb's checked in. Tim Hardaway Jr.'s checked in for Atlanta. Outside, Lynn. Now here's Lamb, covered by Cephalosha. Courtney Lee is on the wing. Outside Jefferson. Just 5 on the clock. Screen by Jefferson. Here's Lynn. Got a hand on it. Pass break here. Here come the Hawks. Here's Hardaway. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Tim Hardaway Jr., the son of the great Tim Hardaway Sr., had a very good rookie season. However, last season, Clark, not the improvement that some were hoping to see on him.
Kevin, you knew the expectations were going to be high going forward, very high. But sometimes you step back before you move forward. He only shot 39% last season. Very low for a guy of his caliber.
2 shots.
And he makes the first.
And we were talking about Hardaway Jr., and he had a very good shot coming out of college, does a good job of freeing himself off screens, plays with good energy and intensity. For this young man, I believe the sky is the limit.
Both good from the line that time.
You know, with Hardaway Jr., it's not my thing to compare guys to other players, but he could use a little bit of his dad's quickness and ball handling. Tim Sr. was one of the best in the league at getting his own shot and getting shots for others. If Tim Jr. can get half of that in his game, his star will rise.
Now here's Lamb. Jefferson. It's tipped. There's 49 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Schroeder. Dishes it to Splitter. Shot is off. And the Hornets now going the other way. Lynn with it. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Lee outside. And there's the feed to Jefferson. That's tipped. Now here's Schroeder. Out left to the wing. Hardaway from outside. Can't get it to go. Lynn can't get it to go. And that does it for the first quarter. It's Atlanta. They're up by 7. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And before the game, we heard from Kemba Walker. He talked about his mentality when he steps out onto the floor.
Play free. You know, just play like you're playing street ball. Just have fun. Just play the game that you've been playing, forever.
You know, he may be having fun, but I'm not so sure playing street ball is really working out for Kemba, who needs to shoot better than 38% for the Hornets to go anywhere, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I mean, what might be better than continuing to play the same game you've been playing forever is to take your game to a new level, and that's going to take some discipline. I think Kemba has more than enough talent to be able to do that, but that's his challenge moving forward.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And when you consider how Atlanta is doing, your thoughts?
I tell you what, defensively, they have been in tune with one another as intense as I've seen.
Yeah, nice job helping out on the rotations and drives, doing really good work at the defensive end.
This is how the floor looks for the Hawks starting the second quarter. Millsap at power forward with Horford at the center. Tim Hardaway Jr. out there with Teague, and it's Bazemore at the small forward position.
Boy, I tell you, last season was a big one for the Hawks and Coach Budenholzer. Their dominant season won him multiple Coach of the Month titles, and eventually he won the Coach of the Year award.
That one's in there. The Hawks lead is cut to just 7 on the basket from Marvin Williams.
If you give him an inch of space, he's going to make you pay.
Outside Hardaway. And Teague has it in the corner. That drops, and it comes off the assist from Hardaway. And it's 7 points for Jeff Teague.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They've got to get more intense.
And it's Walker penetrating. Right side Williams. On the wing, Batum. Teague against Walker. Can't get it to go. Great D that time from Teague. Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. Hardaway dishes to Horford. Kemba Walker with the rebound.
Defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Zeller passes to Batum. Williams inside. Millsap covering. The shot by Williams, no good.
They really depend on him to convert those chances. A lot of times, even with solid D drapes on him, they expect him to make it.
That one goes. Count it.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
Well, you have to love the energy and the effort given every night by Kent Bazemore, hustling for loose balls. Greg, a lot like you actually. Runs the floor like a tornado, can handle the ball. The consummate role player.
He really is. And you know, you have to have guys who can be effective without the basketball, Kevin. There's only one out there.
Right.
And you're going to have 5 guys, so you need other areas of the game to be effective. And he focuses on the defense, the rebounding, all those little things that add up to victories.
Gilchrist is checked in for Charlotte. And a change for the Hawks. Kyle Korver, he's checked in for Hardaway. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Here's the screen. Here's Kid Gilchrist, and the layup falls. Kid Gilchrist has got 5 now.
And you know, going back to Kent Bazemore, he was not a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. Was solid and unspectacular in college. Entered the NBA as an undrafted free agent. Exceeded everybody's expectation.
Hornets trail by 12. Here's Batum. Off the screen. And Zeller kicks to Kid Gilchrist. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Hawks have gone 4 of 6 in the field here in the second. Batum with the steal. Feeds to Kid Gilchrist.
And Kid Gilchrist had that very funky jumper coming into the league. And prior to last year, it really worked tirelessly. Not an easy thing to do to try to change the entire form and structure of your jump shot.
And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for Atlanta.
They definitely had a hot hand from three-point range. Always nice to get off to a good start.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
He doesn't get the second one. The Hawks leading by 11. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Teague kicks to Millsap. Millsap a screen on Batum. 5 on the clock. Picked by Horford. Teague 3. Zeller grabs the board. Zeller's got his third rebound tonight. Clark for Kid Gilchrist, and his shot, it seemed to be a step in the right direction for his entire offensive game.
Well, Kevin, it was the first year of reworking that jump shot, and the mid-range percentage has gone up as a result. That's positive progress.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Now, here's Batum. Shoots it up. Charlotte no good that time either. Hawks have gone 5 of 8 from the floor here in the second quarter. Over 60% shooting. Teague drives in. Right through the D for the layup. Teague's got 7 now in this quarter.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's keyed this run. Passing it with purpose. The D hasn't been able to keep up.
Now here's Walker. And it's sent back by Horford.
And another miss. Whew. He's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. Last year, a good one for Jeff Teague, Clark. He was a first-time All-Star in this league.
He's a pick-and-roll technician, so good in reading the defense as he operates from that spot on the floor. He was really the catalyst for what was a really efficient offense for the Hawks.
And Jeff Teague, a real speed merchant. I mean, very tough to stay in front of. He can put you on skates, blow by, and get right to the rim. And guys, Jeff Teague, an attack guard. He's just an average three-point shooter, but he gets to the free throw line in bunches, shoots at a high percentage, and has really revolved, I think, into one of the elite point guards in the league.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time. Certainly the biggest surprise last year, Clark, was the play of the Atlanta Hawks. Few would have picked them to win the East at the start of the season.
Well, they did it, and they earned it. The Hawks didn't have any superstars on their roster, but they won with solid team play.
The Hawks leading by 14. Shooter kicks to Splitter. There's a good screen. Pass to Cephalosha. Teague drives in. That's not going to drop for him. 5 of 9 with that miss. For Charlotte, they've gone just 33% from the field in what's been a cold second quarter for them. Just 3 of 9. Now here's Lynn. Not a lot of room. Lets it go with a 3. But they get it back. Jefferson. And it's good. Up through contact, it's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
It's becoming a theme in this game, Clark. They are piling up the points in the paint. And for the Hawks, they did end up with 4 All-Stars last season. As you said, it was all about how they work together as a team.
And you know, around the NBA, the league recognized the Hawks were a complete team. Everybody played their roles superbly. The NBA named all 5 of their starters the player of the week last year in an unprecedented move.
Now here's Schroeder. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Outside, Kid Gilchrist. Pass to Lynn. Jefferson, a screen on Scott. Lynn dishes to Jefferson. That cuts the lead to single digits. Jefferson's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Boy, what a slick job of passing from Jeremy Lin on that one.
Passes it to Scott. Kicks it to Cephalosha. Back to Scott. Nice movement here by Atlanta. They set the pick. The dish now to T. He feeds it to Splitter. He kicks it to Cephalosha. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Kid Gilchrist. Rebound by the Hawks. At one point, they led by 16. And Teague has it in the corner. No good from outside. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Outside, Lynn. Kid Gilchrist against Teague. And finished off by Kid Gilchrist.
Rising up and hammering it home. That could be just what they need to pick their energy up.
Wow, it definitely got the guys on the bench on their feet. I'll say that for man, oh man, was that
And no
fun.
doubt about it, guys. That's one of those plays that will pick up his teammates. A lot of times, a play like that is just what you need to get the adrenaline flow for your team.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia. The Hawks shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Yeah, and over the course of the season, they're a respectable 78%. That comes in handy in close games.
Really, guys, it's just come together for them at the charity stripe this season. I mean, the confidence is there, and so too are the results.
He's off on the second. And so that brings the first half to a close. Hawks lead by 10. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Well, guys, I'm here with Al Jefferson. And Al, what's the strategy been so far defensively, and what needs to happen in the second half in that regard?
Well, we just got to help. You know, we can't let everybody beat us. We just got to, everybody got to help and on the defense end and give them the key to protect the paint.
Pick your poison. Can't let everybody beat you, Al. We appreciate it, guys.
All right, Doris, thank you. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. Jeff Teague playing terrific basketball in this one. He had 13 points, 3 assists, and 1 rebound. He's been playing extremely well lately and making some new highlights for us already in this one. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how Atlanta played?
Well, in terms of running a smooth, efficient offense, they've been as good as it gets. The looks they've created have been high percentage. The ball is moving, guys are rotating. That's what got them those good looks, Ernie. And this is the reason they got that nice lead.
Kenny, what was your takeaway on Charlotte?
Well, they shot under 40% in the first half. There's your deficit. They missed some open looks, wide open. But overall, I thought the offense was stagnant. Look for their coach to draw up some specific plays to try to jumpstart them in the second half.
And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter to begin. We will see you after the final buzzer.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments.
Really an extraordinary game for Teague. He's got 13 points, and he's chalked up 1 3-pointer on the day as well.
And Clark, I'm sure that won't be the last one. A lot of times he can get hot and stay hot from beyond.
Kid Gilchrist and Williams are at the forward spots. Kemba Walker is out there with Batum, and it's Zeller in at the pivot spot manning the middle. So that's the lineup for Charlotte. Now here's Teague. Williams with the steal. Walker with it, picked up by Teague. side, Walker shoots the three. Great D that time from T.
And guys, you know, last year Marvin Williams signed a big contract, and he did not follow that up with big production. In fact, he tied a career low in terms of his field goal percentage at only 42, and not exactly what the Hornets were expecting from their new stretch four.
Williams sets a screen for Batum. It's Kid Gilchrist on the wing. Williams a screen. Shot off the pick. Rebound by the Hawks. Millsap's got 5 rebounds tonight. Bazemore passes to T. Outside Millsap. Here's Horford. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Horford's got 8. Now the thing about Marvin Williams, you know, we know he doesn't create for others. He doesn't generate a lot of blocks or steals. But, you know, the one thing he does, he can hit the boards, he rebounds well, and he's got a pretty good shot from outside.
Yeah, and last season he didn't have any big numbers, but the ones that were at least respectable were in the areas you just mentioned, rebounding and three-point shooting, Kevin.
They have yet to hit a shot, a real slow start here in the second half.
Outside Korver. Kid Gilchrist comes with a double team. It's Millsap with the drive. The Hornets pull it in. Zeller's got his 4th rebound in this one. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Outside for Batum. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker. Batum's got 5 points so far.
There you go again. A nice kick out after the D had collapsed on it.
Millsap a screen. Walker against T. To the paint. Outside for Millsap. From out on the wing, he knocks it down. Millsap's got his first 2 points of the night.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Hornets dance team. With Doris from the sideline.
Hi, guys. I had a chance to find out what Mike Budenholzer was discussing with his guys. Horford was the focus of the discussion, and he wants their offense to run through him. Coach has a lot of faith in him offensively and let his players know it, insisting that he be at the forefront of what they do at that end of the court from here on out. Perhaps the rest of the second half will look different after those adjustments, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. Now here's Zeller. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
You know, and for Cody Zeller, after that promising rookie campaign, he just did not tear it up in year 2. In fact, his production only improved slightly. But that was mostly due to the increase in playing time. Talented guy, no doubt, just still trying to find his way in the league.
2 shots.
The first free throw is good. And for Cody Zeller, Greg, there's a reason he was the 4th overall pick back in 2013. He showed the size and athleticism to be a difference maker in college. And Clark, now he has to do it at the pro level as well. And I think people are pretty confident he can.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with those folks myself because he does have the tools. It's now a matter of transitioning and becoming a little better shooting the ball than he's shown.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2.
It has not been an ideal start to the second half. They've missed 3 of their first 4.
Last season, we saw Al Horford rounding back into form. Good to see that after what had been his second season-ending pectoral muscle tear back in late 2013.
Exactly. I mean, the Hawks just had to bide their time while their best player was out. You saw once he returned, though, he makes a big difference for them.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two.
Yeah, the defender all over it.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
And for me, Horford, one of the most unappreciated stars in the league. When he's healthy, he's every bit the franchise player because he really has no weakness. He does pretty much everything well on the floor. And Horford, I mean, this guy does it all on the floor. But for me, his leadership, that's one of those real intangibles. And he's unselfish, all about his teammates and completely focused on winning. So when your best player has that commitment, it has to rub off on the other players.
A big dip in performance here for the Hornets last year. In 2014, they were very tough to beat at home, and that was not the case in 2015.
Yeah, I mean, they struggled to string together those defensive runs at home, and in the end, that led to their less than stellar record.
Good on the shot.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on him.
Now here's Schroeder, guarded by Walker. Now Schroeder, he's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Outside Hardaway, 5 to shoot. Millsap a screen. Hardaway, no good.
And, you know, that record for the Hornets last year at home, they ended up going 19-22, 6 fewer wins than they had in 2014 when they last made the playoffs.
Just such a good shooter from that range.
And you factor in his height advantage, it's almost unfair.
Schroeder kicks to Millsap. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Picked by Horford. Here's Schroeder. On the wing, Korver. He dishes it to Schroeder. From outside, off the mark.
And getting back to the Hornets, they were the worst shooting team in the league at home. And they have to remedy that in a hurry. Shot only 42% here last season.
Now here's Schroeder. Korver gets a wide open look. Drains it from beyond the arc. Korver's got 5.
You know, they've got to make him earn those threes. You play off of him, and he's automatic from that distance.
Walker dishes to Kid Gilchrist. From 12 feet out. Here's Williams. The shot is off. Good work defensively by Millsap. The Hawks leading by 13. And here's Korver from the arc. Another 3 for Atlanta.
You know what, guys? He can really light it up from the perimeter at times.
And guys, you got to love the front court for these Atlanta Hawks. I mean, Al Horford and Paul Millsap both give up a few inches in terms of height, but you won't find a more skilled and versatile front court in the NBA.
For Charlotte. Atlanta also making some changes here. Splitters checked in for Horford. Humphreys comes in for Paul Millsap. And Thabo Cephalosha subbed in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Well, speaking of the skill of the Atlanta front court, their offense predicated on ball movement and spacing and shooting. Unlike San Antonio, Horford and Millsap a perfect fit.
Really, those two enjoy playing together. Excellent chemistry between them because they're both mobile, agile, skilled big guys.
Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap here in this second half.
And their lasers are starting to do their thing. I mean, that's going to be the ticket for them the rest of the way.
And for Chris Humphries, last year was a chance to sign with a playoff contender. The Wizards turned out to be even more than that, with the fourth best record in the East, and Humphries helped them to get there, averaging about 6.5 boards per game.
Getting back to Humphries, he was rolling pretty good last season, but a late season groin injury, Clark, cost him the final 16 games.
Yeah, terribly disappointing for Chris because he had become an important part of that front court rotation. He was up to almost 20 minutes a game before he went down.
That one misses.
And Charlotte had a lot of momentum going into last season off that playoff appearance. But they just stumbled out of the gates last season and spent the whole year playing catch-up.
Here's Schroeder after the basket by Charlotte. 1:25 left to play in the third. Splitter and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. It's on Al Jefferson.
Shots, gentlemen.
And for the Hornets, they seemed to get back on track last January, but they faded Clark quickly after that and were too far behind to make up room and get in the playoffs.
And, you know, they had a rash of injuries, Kevin, and that really did them in. All in all, it was a season that just didn't have any traction for them because of the injuries.
And the one thing Thiago Splitter gives you every year, Clark, is consistency. The numbers, the effort, the results, all very familiar every year.
Yeah, his game is really built on the intangibles. He hustles, he knows where he's supposed to be, he gets to the right spot at the right time, crashes the boards, takes charges. He does all the little stuff.
And for Thiago Splitter, he's been a relatively unsung player in his career, never getting his number called on offense, receiving little recognition from the media, but providing tough defense in the post. He shot over 55%, crashes the boards in the 20 minutes or so a game that he gets. So that's been good enough to really establish a productive career.
Now here is Cephalosha following the miss by Al Jefferson. Splitter sets a screen. Here's Schroeder. Splitter misses. Hornets trail by 14.
You know, getting back to Splitter, yes, you need superstars to win in this league, but you also need guys like him, guys who put the team first, will bust the gut, to carry out their responsibilities on the floor, off the court, and in the locker room. You need all of that to be a championship team.
Now Corver after Jeremy Lin's three-pointer that didn't go. There's the screen. Cephalosha passes to Corver. The Hornets pull it in. Here's Lee. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a one-footer. Come on now.
Here's Humphries. That three off the mark. Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. It's Atlanta. They lead by 12. 2K Sports back in a moment here at the Time Warner Cable Arena in Charlotte. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Hornets trail by 12. On the court for Atlanta. Millsap at power forward with Horford at the center. Teague out there with Dennis Schroeder. And it's Bazemore at the 3 slot. Atlanta's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Here's Millsap. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Millsap's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Hawks. Hornets shooting a lackluster 38% for the game, struggling so far. And Walker kicks to Williams. Jefferson inside, working on Horford. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And for Big Al Jefferson, he's been a great player in this league, but he hasn't played on that many great teams, and he's never made an all-star team. Hard to imagine.
And for Al Jefferson, never making an all-star team, he's got the numbers on offense to get him there. People just feel he's probably, what, Clark, one-dimensional?
Well, you know, even though the All-Star game has no defense for the most part, you usually need to play a little bit of D to have a chance to get there.
Both free throws good from Al Jefferson.
It's been a nice game for Jefferson. 9 points, and he's contributed 3 points from the line, too.
And those free throws add up, guys. That is extra offense.
Now, here's Teague. Six on the shot clock. Pulls up on the elbow. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And the Hawks lead by 14. And it's the Hornets ball. Outside, Walker. To the inside. Good work defensively by Horford.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Her passes to Teague. Horford kicks to Millsap. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Walker dishes to Kid Gilchrist. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter now. Walker's shot is off.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one, short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
Now here's Schroeder, guarded closely. Can't get it to go. And Charlotte will come the other way. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Here's Jefferson. And it falls over the rim and in. Jefferson's got 4 points this quarter.
No doubt about it. He has done a ton to help his team, but he's going to have to do even more if they want to have a chance to get back in this.
Kid Gilchrist, the pass to Batum. Left side Jefferson. That's good from 17 feet away.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Teague kicks it over to Schroeder. Picked by Horford. And here's Schroeder. Millsap a screen. Shot off the pick. And that one's good. Schroeder. And the Hawks lead by 14.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
And Walker kicks to Batum. And there's the pass to Walker. Right side, Williams. Atlanta with the rebound. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. Walker against T. And Kid Gilchrist kicks to Jefferson. Kid Gilchrist dishes to Williams. Outside, Kid Gilchrist. Good work defensively by Millsap.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
Now here's Schroeder, guarded by Walker. And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Slowing down Horford, no easy feat. 8 rebounds and 1 rejection in this game, too.
And was it a good one? Really, one of their highlights of the game defensively. The Hawks were fantastic last season. After the All-Star break, they did slip up a bit, struggled against teams over 500.
The first free throw is good. They lost the last 3 games of the regular season, Clark, and really just limped into the playoffs. Some of it might have just been fatigue.
Yeah, it could have been, and their play at the end of the season did leak into the playoffs, Kevin. I mean, you could see very quickly that they weren't the same team that looked so dominant during the regular season.
And the Hornets making a change here. Zeller's checked in. He makes 1 of 2 that time.
And last year, the Hornets failed to achieve the same success as they had in 2014. Still, they played decent basketball against the rest of that Southeast Division.
Now here's Teague. Nicholas Batum unable to get his shot to go. Teague, the pass to Bazemore. Millsap a screen on Kid Gilchrist. And Bazemore kicks to Millsap. And once again off the mark by Atlanta. As you said, the Hornets played solid against the Southeast Division, finished 4th in the division, but played 500 ball going 8 up and 8 down against the other 4 Southeast members, Clark.
Not too shabby considering how strong Atlanta and Washington were. In general, the Hornets played pretty tough against every team in the division and did the same in the conference, too. I've really appreciated their activity in the post today. I mean, their movement down low has been great.
Oh, that's right on the money. They've generated a lot of easy opportunities on the inside.
That one goes. Count it. And that's now 19 points for Teague.
And such a steady hand. I mean, he's one of those guys that's really allowed them to take the lead.
Well, he's just so reliable and dependable and consistent, especially here today. I mean, his shooting percentage is off the chart.
Clark, one thing about the Hawks last year is they were very strong on the road, as you could have guessed.
Yeah, but Kevin, they struggled a little bit down the stretch on the road, but still managed to have the best road record in the East.
Has an update from the sidelines.
I was able to listen in on what Steve Clifford was going over with his team. He said, listen, we've come this far. Now we've got to lay it on the line to get a win. I know we can do it. So show them what you got and let's make it happen. Guys, we'll see if they can do it.
And how about that road record for the Hawks? 25-16 last season. 9 of those wins came during that 19-game winning streak in early 2015.
Rejected by Millsap. The Hawks leading by 15. T dishes to Korver. Korver kicks to T. The feed to Millsap. A beautiful reverse layup.
Boy, you look at the Hawks, and they seem to be built to play on the road because they can survive a player having an off game. They're so deep and versatile. Team basketball is a lot less prone to go cold when you're on the road.
Here's Walker following the basket by Paul Millsap. And Walker kicks to Williams. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker. Walker's got his 4th assist in this one.
And guys, there's no doubt Walker has a lot of the tools needed to be a great point guard. But his shooting percentage is really what has kept him from making the league. Just not as consistent as he needs to be. And a lot of it has to do with shot selection. That also has to improve.
Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession. Just thinking again about Kemba Walker's field goal percentage, Greg. You were talking about shot under 40%, Clark, from the floor last year.
Yeah, and I think so much of shooting percentage is a function of shot selection. That's 3 out of the last 4 seasons now under 40% for Kemba. In order to be an elite point guard, that number's got to go up.
Walker missing again.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
Now here's Millsap. Dishes it to Horford. It's rebounded by Kid Gilchrist.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the Hawks.
Clark, what do you think was the deciding factor in this one?
Simply field goal percentage. They shot the ball much better than the opponent.
A good win, and a lot went into it. But I just like the showing for Jeff T. He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
Here's T. Michael Kid Gilchrist making his last shot. T with the ball, and stolen by Zeller. A fast break now for Charlotte. And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on Jeff Teague.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you could hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
And watching Kemba Walker play, so explosive. An undersized floor general, nasty crossover. Really a scorer's mentality, maybe too much of a scorer's mentality to ever be a great assist man.
Greg, talking about Walker, you have to love the way he competes, his willingness, Clark, to put the team on his shoulders and carry him.
Love that competitive spirit of his. They're actually figuring out how to use him best, but he's such a dynamic offensive player. You've got to give him room to be creative at that end.
Now here's Hardaway. Feeds it to Schroeder. To the right side. Humphries. Atlanta again missing. Clark, this one just all but in the books.
Yeah, I don't see a comeback at this point, partner.
Yeah, too many points, not enough time.
There's 14 seconds left in the game. Lamb passes to Lee. Courtney Lee is on the wing to the inside. Zeller dishes to Lee. Laces one from 3. And so it's Atlanta with the W. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
You know, Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they really did feed off all of that negative energy this crowd was directing at them. I mean, they turned it around and used it as motivation to close out a significant win.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Paul, congratulations on this win. It seemed like this game was getting away from you at points. What does the team take away from this game in terms of experience?
You know, we got to do a better job executing down the stretch, you know, as simple as that. Just glad we got this win. We just can't let these things happen in the future.
An escape from some mistakes, Paul. Well done, guys.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. And that'll do it, folks. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Jeff T, who notched his season high, and his scoring really seemed to set the tempo for his team tonight.
Well, he showed us just how good he can be when he's at the top of his game. And the building was stunned. You saw people leaving early, throwing popcorn, throwing hot dogs, spilling soda. He put on a CSDP, a crowd shut down performance. Man, that's what I'm talking about, Ernie.
When it comes to Jeff Teague, there's an aggressiveness to his game that allows him to be a difference maker. He's always going to be the one who dictates the pace of the game. I love that about Teague. He's just as skilled at orchestrating for his teammates.
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast for this evening. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson saying good night, and we'll see you again soon, but not soon enough.